What?
What?
What the hell is this?
Harumph. I didn't get a harumph out of that guy.
Give the governor harumph.
Harumph!
You watch your ass.
I see you shiver with anticipation.
Let the show begin.
Hey everybody, this is David Heretic coming at you with another edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. And tonight, alright, we're coming back to Dan Vasc. Yes, indeed, Dan Vasc Fans FEELIN YOU. Come on now. Here we go. Before we go any further, for those of you who are feeling inclined to doing all of the clicks and the likes and the bibbity-boobity bop, do me a favor, before you do all that stuff, please watch the whole video first, okay? Give me a chance to actually earn those clicks and likes. Now, after the video's done, still feel like doing all those clicks and likes, then by all means, feel free to click away. This comes as a request from Ian Franks, and Ian wanted to see me react to this song. It is Dan Vasc with a cover of the tune Amazing Grace. Now, have I heard this song before? Full disclosure, yes I have. This is one of those songs that has been taken and reinterpreted in so many different ways, in several different styles, in several different keys, in several different tempos, and it's a song that it means a lot to a lot of people, and a lot of people have taken the song and put their own little feel on it in a lot of different ways. Now, I know this is a cover. I'm not sure what Dan Vasc is going to do with this song. I'm sure it'll be interesting. But having said that, full disclosure, yes, I have heard this song before. So I'm not taking the original song into account in any way, shape, or form. I'm just going to be basing my reaction, my evaluation, my score on the cover that Dan Vasc does. Okay, so we'll see how this goes. Let's see. This was posted by Dan Vasc. All right, no shock there. And the video has 2.4 million views. It'll get you there. Other than that, there's really nothing else left to say. Link to the original video will be down below in the video description for your viewing pleasure at your leisure. Let's get started. What do you say? Are you ready? Are you ready? Because here we go. All right, here we go. Metal singer performs Amazing Grace. Would have been nice if they, put Dan Vasc's name in there somewhere other than metal singer. Which metal singer? Could be anybody. That's not exactly the best the best branding right there, especially considering the fact that this is on his official page. Man, that's weird. Anyway, all right, let's do this.
All right, boy, let's do this.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see. 'Twas grace that taught my heart to fear, and grace my fears relieved. How precious did that grace appear, the hour I first believed. Through many dangers, storms and snares, I have already come. Disgrace that brought me safe thus far.
Okay. Why? Well, how long was that? 20 seconds? 20 seconds of black screen and just reprisal? For absolutely no reason whatsoever? Nah. I think somebody dropped the ball here. I think somebody forgot to put the advertisements for the next video and the next video, or for the merch or whatever. I think somebody dropped the ball. So whoever edited this video needs to try again. I have mixed feelings about this. I do. We're going to talk all about it, I promise. But we're going to talk about it in the review. So let me get my thoughts together. I'll see you in the review. And yeah, we're going to talk all about it. Well, there you go, folks. That was Dan Vasc with a cover of the tune Amazing Grace. This was a request from Ian Franks. Yeah, this was... Okay, there was more to this than I was expecting. When I saw I was doing a cover for Amazing Grace, I was like, oh, this is gonna be easy. This is gonna be a cakewalk. This is gonna be no issue, no problems. This is gonna be an easy reaction. And boy, was I wrong. No, it's not. I am absolutely torn on this one. You'll see what I mean. I promise. We're gonna talk all about it. Let's start with the score first, and we'll go from there, and hopefully you'll understand how I ended up with this score. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'm gonna give that a 7.5. Yep, 7.5. I feel good about that score. Let me tell you why.
Why?
Okay, first things first, a 7.5. What does that mean? Well, a 7.5 would translate to a really good skill rating because overall, I think this was a really good cover. Overall, trust me, we're gonna talk about it. It would also get 4 to 5 stars and a B+ letter grade. Yeah, a B+. B as in boy. So there you go, a 7.5, really good skill rating, 4 to 5 stars, and a B+ letter grade. Now, how did I come up with that score? So glad you asked. Amazing Grace is one of those tunes that it really doesn't need a whole lot of fluff. It really doesn't need a whole lot of grandeur. I mean, I've heard so many different renditions of this song. I've heard it done by a complete symphony orchestra with orchestral choir, and I've heard it with a single acoustic guitar, and all points in between. And I gotta say, when you have at least for me alone, when you have a more stripped down version, less is more. When it comes to this song, it really does. The song takes care of itself. All you need is just like even no instrument. Like if you have just a single a cappella singer or a duet or even a trio, sometimes that's more effective than having an entire symphony orchestra. You know what I mean? The song's notation, the song's delivery within itself will usually do the deed. This is one of those songs that is capable, not always, but this is one of those songs for me that is actually capable of getting an emotional response and generating an emotional response out of me, eliciting one, if you will. And it just, there are times where it does, and there are times where it doesn't. Circumstances obviously can have more of an effect or less of an effect depending on the circumstances, but really more than circumstances, it's delivery of the song. It's what key we're in, instrumentation, how much was it blown up, how much was it minimalized. And I'll tell you right now, when the song does usually elicit an emotional response, we're somewhere between the keys of usually C to D, no, C to E flat, somewhere in there. Usually has the best response, but usually resonates with me the best. And it's usually very stripped down. You know, couple of voicings, maybe one or two instruments, and that's honestly it. You know, I heard a version of this where it was a piano, and it was a piano and a clarinet, and man, that was one of the best versions of the song I had ever heard. I mean, I was like, wow, that was effective. That, and it elicited an emotional response with me. Absolutely. Sometimes less is more, and I know Dan Vasc is a solo artist. He's a vocalist, and I get it. And he's the only one doing the vocals. I totally understand that. But his choice of instrumentation for the backing track was big. It was humongous. It was very grand. Now, look, it sounded good. I'm not saying it sounded bad. I'm saying less is more. And here's why I'm saying that. And I have my reasons, and I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. Let's split this song right down the middle, okay? Right at the halfway point. So the first half of the song, I'm sure most people were going, DH was bored, DH didn't like the first half, he probably liked the second half way more. I'm going to prove some people wrong here. Believe it or not, I prefer the first half. And the reason why, we just talked about it, it was more stripped down. It was more intimate. I thought his vocal delivery when he was singing a cappella, I thought it sounded really good. I would have preferred him being in that upper register. The lower register, there were some points where he was getting down to those low notes where it sounded like he was kind of struggling a little bit to get those notes. He got them. He absolutely got them, but you could see it. He had to kind of work a little bit to get it. When he went up into the upper register, he looked more comfortable. He looked like he was having a much easier time hitting all the notes, including the higher ones. So I think that upper register is definitely geared more toward his vocal ability and more of his own comfort zone. Up until the part where we got to the harmonica solo. Now, that harmonica solo, was it needed? No, I don't think it was needed, but it was kind of neat. It was kind of nice. It was different. It was unexpected, and it was done well. I just don't, I don't think it really was necessary, but it still filled the gap of a solo. But there's no solo in the song, but whatever, it's fine. It is what it is. Up to the harmonica solo, I was fine. Okay. Now we get past the harmonica solo. Now it gets really grand. It gets big. More voicings are added. A modulation is added. Okay. The modulation was nice, but all those additional voices, now the intimacy is gone. And now we're looking at pure power. You're not going to get an emotional response out of me with pure power like that. It's just not going to happen. And then a second modulation. We went up again. What? Okay. I understand the first modulation. I understand that. A second modulation? Really? Why? What purpose did that serve? It just felt, at that point, it just felt gratuitous. It just felt overdone at that point. Like, what's that? You want more peppercorn sauce on your steak? You want more peppercorn sauce? We can do that. We can smother your whole steak in peppercorn sauce to the point where you can't even taste the meat. We can keep slathering it on there. There is such a thing as too much of a good thing, guys. And I think towards the end, about the last minute of this, it was just too much for me. I didn't see the point. I feel like it became anticlimactic. I kind of felt like it was starting to implode upon itself. Those last 20 seconds, I don't get it. I'm pretty sure that's a faux pas. I'm pretty sure that was a mistake on whoever was editing the video. They were probably supposed to put some things on the screen there and they forgot. So there's that. But so as far as the overall song goes, like I said, I liked the first half. The first half I think was fine. I would put the first half in the greats. You know, I would put it in the low greats, like 8.2, 8.3. Then the second half kicked in, and I would put those. I know this is going to sound weird. I would put that down in the high pretty good, like 6.7, 6.8. So I found middle ground here. What it really comes down to, somewhere between a 6.7, 6.8 range to a 8.2, 8.3 range. So I just kind of averaged it out until we got to this middle ground, which is honestly, you do the math, it's about a 7.5. So yeah, I feel good about that score, and that's where we're going to stay. I think his vocal delivery, like his actual vocals, I think they sounded, again, going back to the halves, I think the first half sounded better. I even in that lower register, because he was singing a cappella, I think the strain was shown a little bit more. He couldn't hide. But when he went up into the upper register, oh yeah, it was that sounded really nice. I dug that. When we started going up higher and more powerful, I mean, he still sounded good, but again, it just got to be too much of a good thing. You know what I mean? It just got to be why? It just became self-serving at that point, and I just really wasn't into the second half at all.
Oh, Mrs. Crane, you're a little monkey woman, you know that? You're a little monkey woman. You're lean, and you're mean, and you're not too far between either, I bet, are you, huh?
So, first half was fantastic. I dug the first half. Second half was all right. So, yeah, 7.5. I feel good with that score, and that's where we're going to stay. So, let's wrap everything up here in a nice shiny bow, shall we? We have a 7.5, which is a really good skill rating, 4 to 5 stars, and a B+ letter grade. Take your pick. I don't care. Whichever one of those floats your boat. Final word, final score, I've spoken. Well, that's going to do it for this edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. Hope you all enjoyed the show. Hope I was able to entertain you. If I was able to put a smile on your face and brighten your day, then I did my job, and I'm so glad I could do it. If you guys feel like joining the fan base, go ahead and click on that button down there. If you guys want to like the video, go ahead and like the video. If you guys want to ring the bell, go ahead and ring the bell. It honestly doesn't make any difference at all to me, but if you guys feel like doing these things, well, then by all means, feel free to do so. Well, that's going to do it for tonight, folks. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, this is David Heretic signing off, reminding you to stay fabulous and support each other. Later. Peace.